Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a Denmark day. 100 hours of eating in Copenhagen. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Delicious god-tier pastries, maybe the best pizza I've ever had. A cocktail that's straight up on fire. All that and a lot more will
Health and safety, guys.
happen in today's video. Because I'm about to spend the next 100 hours in the capital city.
That looked like a Yorkshire pudding. Do you know, I don't know if you guys know what Yorkshire pudding is. It's a British... Did Yorkshire puddings come from Denmark? Oh my god, okay. Let's just watch the video. I just saw something that is quintessentially British that he was eating in Copenhagen. You might shatter my whole world in a second. Let's continue. Let's see if we find out.
City of Denmark, Copenhagen, trying the best food this city has to offer.
I'm not completely sure we got the right train tickets. We're on a Danish train.
I got inspired to come here by my favorite show, The Bear. In episode 4 of the second season, one of the characters, Marcus, travels to Copenhagen in an effort to learn new approaches to food. In this episode, the city itself feels like a character with a very specific vibe that just instantly charmed me. So naturally, I wanted to go there and get to know the city myself and try a bunch of food because it seems like Copenhagen has a very rich food culture. A big part of that culture is represented by our first stop here, a bakery. Apparently,
I don't know if I watched a video. I don't know where I heard this, but I heard that you have the best food out of all the Nordic nations. I don't know how true this is. I don't want to piss off my Swedes or my Finns or my Norwegians, but I heard that you guys actually have the best cuisine. So I'm interested to see. Maybe this might be my culinary experience that I'll love the most in Scandinavia and in the Nordic countries. So yeah, I'm just like, wow. And it's morning here, and I haven't had my breakfast yet. So let's see.
Apparently Copenhagen knows how to make pastries because a lot of you told me to try them. And you guys know me well. I'm a sweet man. I'm a dessert man. So a good pastry for me is like peak food. We got this thing which is called the
Fastelavnsbolle,
which is a seasonal pastry.
Oh.
This particular one was chocolate flavored, filled with orange cream.
Oh my
Guys.
god. Oh my god.
Wow.
It's one of the best things I've put in my mouth of all time. Holy shit.
And already, whatever experience that created in my mouth, it's more than 5 stars. It's 6 stars. Like, wow. We also got this rectangular woven croissant looking thing. It was beautifully made, incredibly buttery, not too sweet. That one's a 5-star for sure.
It has a sugary layer on the outside that gives it a crispiness. Also a little salty. Perfect.
I'm gonna come back to England. I'm already a big guy, but I'm gonna come back to England, the size of a house, after I go to Copenhagen. I love pastry. I really love pastry. You guys make great pastry. I'm from the north of England. I'm from Yorkshire, and in Yorkshire, we love a good pie. We love a good pastry. We call them pasties, and they're like pastry filled with meat. We love a good pasty. Cornish pasty, we love pasties. This looks like you are elite at that. So I'm worried for my waistline, but I'm excited. Let's continue.
Now, even though it may look nice and sunny and cozy, make no mistake, it was cold and the wind was just crazy.
What a beautiful city. If it wasn't windy, this might be one of my favorite cities. Maybe my favorite city that I've ever visited.
Now, maybe the most iconic Danish food is smørbrød.
Smørbrød.
An open-faced rye bread sandwich that everyone told me to try. So we stopped by this place to eat a very Danish lunch, which started with a very much needed schnapps. It was dill flavored. I thought it was delicious, but my girlfriend wanted none of it, which is good for me because I can drink it all. Before the
Smørbrød,
we tried some fermented herring dishes as an appetizer. If you don't know herring, it's a fish, and these fishes were fermented for amounts of time ranging between a week and a year, and that process brought out some
a fish fermented for a year. I don't know how I feel about a meat that I mean, I do know you can preserve meat, right? But yeah, fish. Okay, I'll try it.
Some amazing and subtly funky flavors, but the main event was
You can't put amazing and funky in the same sentence. Funky sounds like it stinks and it's not nice.
still yet to come. A nice
That looks
spread
great.
of open-faced sandwiches. We had a salmon one, a beef tartare one, and one with this fried fish, which I forgot the name of, and they were all good. Nothing really blew my mind, but it was well executed. For me, the experience was 4 stars. Now, after this big meal, we were pretty dead, to be honest, and the wind just got to a ridiculous point. Like, it was almost cartoonish how hard this wind was blowing. So we decided to go to the hotel for just a little bit of relaxing. Turns out that it was a little bit of a mistake. We just straight slept for, what, 2 hours? But I'm very excited because later tonight we're gonna go to this pizza place, and apparently it's one of the best pizzas that I can get in Europe. It's literally called Best Pizza.
Pizzas.
This is best.
It's actually called Best Pizza. Guys, is it one of the best pizzas in the world? Okay, when it comes to pizzas, the place I'm most excited to go in Scandinavia is Sweden. Because their pizzas look absolutely insane. Weird shit, like banana and all this type of stuff mixed together. Yeah. I'm interested to see what type of pizzas. I feel like, from what I'm getting, you guys seem a bit classy. So I don't think you put like weird stuff on your pizza, but I could be surprised.
Best pizza, and everyone's been telling me to try this. I had friends tell me this is the best pizza they tried, so I was understandably very excited. We got 2 pizzas and this was the first one.
That looks, wow. You know how fluffy that crust looks. Sorry, I even spat, like my mouth is watering that much. And you just know the tomato on that, exquisite. And is that, wow.
A classic. Tomato sauce, garlic, oregano, with dollops of homemade stracciatella on top. And
What's
this
a
right here
stracciatella?
was the best bite of pizza I've ever had in my life. The dough itself is like more than I ever thought a dough can be. The sauce is intensely savory and garlicky, but still fresh, and the cold stracciatella just balances everything out with a mild milky creaminess.
That
And
crust
wow.
looks
We also got a
amazing.
pizza with smoked mozzarella and mushrooms that also blew my mind, as well as a really good tiramisu at the end. For me, this was a 6-star experience. So if you're ever around here, I really think this is a must.
I'm going. I'm going. Even though I'm literally gonna have pizza in Sweden. I don't know if I told you guys, Denmark is my first stop. It makes sense, right? Fly into Copenhagen, jump over to Sweden, then from Sweden maybe go to Norway. Does that make sense? Or should I stop in Norway? I don't know. You have a number 1, number 2, or number 3. I don't know. Out of 4. I know Finland's the last place. So, I don't know. But I'm going there.
The next day, whatever little hint of sun was there initially completely disappeared. And I'm starting to think me doing these videos is somehow cursed, because every single time I did one of these, the weather completely sucked.
Bad.
But either way, that didn't stop me from being excited for our next stop. We're gonna...
Guys, should I go in the Should I go in the summer? I asked this question to my Swedish people, and they said you need to come to Sweden when it's summertime because it's just better. Don't come in the winter. But I'm like, it's probably quite magical at Christmas. Let me know in the comment section if I should come in the summertime or I should come in the winter time. Let me know.
Gonna start the day again with a bakery. Seems like this one, Heart, is a highly praised one, so let's check it out. Now, as you know already, bakeries are my jam. So whenever I have the opportunity, I like to try as many things as possible. I got this sandwich that had some of the best sourdough bread I've had, and then this impossibly buttery cardamom bun. I can't...
Oh, cardamom bun. That's what I thought looked like a Yorkshire pudding. I don't think I've ever had a cardamom bun before.
Kept taking bites of this thing and being blown away every single time. Damn, I miss it so much. I wish I could have it right now. 5 stars for Heart Bakery. And I'm starting to think I like way too many things way too much. I have to be a little harsher with my scores, maybe? Maybe not. We had a chance to walk through a more industrial part of the city, and I'm a sucker for this kind of vibes. And I also got to really appreciate the Copenhagen public transportation system.
Can I just say, that train looks almost identical to the underground trains in London. And the line as well, the way that's laid out is just... If I close my eyes and open my eyes, I'll be like, oh, that's the London Tube. That's the London Tube. It even looks like London outside the window. Very similar.
They really got this shit on lock. You can go pretty much anywhere from anywhere, and it's so comfortable and easy to figure out. America, you gotta learn a thing or two from this. Looked at some buildings, took some cinematic, post-apocalyptic looking shots, and then it's already lunchtime. In that The Bear episode, one of the restaurants Marcus goes to is this place called Poulette. They make fried chicken sandwiches, and I was like, a fried chicken sandwich? That doesn't seem like a Copenhagen thing. And honestly, looking at this up close, it doesn't look like the best thing. The cheese is not really melted. It seems to be too much lettuce in there. But after taking my first bite, I understood. Everything was very well balanced, and the spice rub on that chicken is indeed immaculate. 4 stars from me.
It looks good. It looks all a bit dry. I was looking at chicken, I was thinking, a bit dry. And like you said, the cheese is not melted. But you said it's good. So possibly it's good. So maybe I'll try it. 7-Eleven? You have 7-Eleven? Why some places have 7-Eleven and some places don't? I don't think they have 7-Eleven in Sweden. 7-Eleven? You have 7-Eleven?
For dinner, we wanted to do something a little more fancy, so we went to this restaurant called Sanchez, and we just got their chef's menu. It's supposed to be a contemporary take on Mexican cuisine, and it was pretty good. We had some oysters, ceviche, a reinterpretation of a Caesar salad, because apparently Caesar salads come from Mexico. Didn't know that. I had a michelada, which is my favorite drink to have with food. It's beer mixed with spicy, peppery tomato sauce. Trust me, if you have...
No. Absolutely not. Beer and tomato sauce. It sounds like... See, I don't like Bloody Marys. They're disgusting to me. So that sounds like even more disgusting. You're going to put something that's literally like... Beer's like fermented, right? It's got yeast in it. You're going to put that with tomato sauce? It's basically a pizza. No, I don't want it.
If you haven't tried it, give it a shot. We had some mussels with some delicious sourdough to dip in that leftover sauce. Some build your own tacos with a delicious slow cooked pork. Probably my favorite course. Actually, I lied. My favorite course was the dessert as usual, which was a crema tart with sweet potato in it. Overall, I had a pretty good time. 4 stars. But you guys know us. The night is still young. We love a little cocktail bar every once in a while. And this was by far the most interesting one we've ever tried. It's called Boulder Dash, and they have some downright crazy drinks, like this one made with mushrooms and finished with deer heart. That's right, deer heart shavings. There's also this one that they literally set on fire. Yeah, it's a very fun time. We met this guy Robin there who seemed to have infinite energy. So Robin, if you're watching, shout out to you. Each of these cocktails were like 19 bucks, I think, but honestly,
it's really an art, isn't it? Like, to be a cocktail maker, like, there was a lot. I remember my housemate at university, he was learning to be a cocktail maker, and he got shaken, and he was around the house shaking it and doing all these things and flipping it, and I was like, mate, I hope you get paid well for that job, because they work so hard to learn all these tricks. I love stuff like this though, but I love cocktail bars like this. I would definitely go. Looks expensive though. Looks expensive. There's no, he hasn't said anything about price, but I know that in Denmark you guys get paid really well and pay high taxes, and I think it's quite expensive there. So yeah, I'm cognizant of that.
honestly, it was worth it.
Cute.
On day 3, the sun decided to make a little cameo again, so it was a perfect day to walk around the city some more, but first we had to cure our hangover with the perfect hangover food, a burger. A lot of you told me to try this place called Gasoline Grill, and only as I got there I realized why it's called that. It's quite literally in a gas station, and this is not a prop, it's an actual charging station. I love the concept.
What an actual gasoline station. Is it a petrol station? Interesting.
Of this, the colors, the branding, but honestly I was not super impressed with their burger. It was definitely fresher and higher quality than your average fast food burger, but I don't know, maybe I had my expectations too high. The patties were not smashed enough for my taste and also a little bland. However, the fries were pretty good and well seasoned, so I'm landing on a 4-star, I think.
Okay. I'll go for it just because it looks like a really good Instagram spot. Gasoline burger. I'm stealing so many of these recommendations for food.
As I was rewatching that The Bear episode, I noticed this scene where Marcus just kind of walks around the Noma, which is the #1 restaurant in the entire world. And I was like, no way, right? You can't just walk in there. But turns out, yes, you actually can. And I hope I didn't miss a sign or something, but it definitely seemed like you could just walk by that place. And it was really beautiful. I love their aesthetic. And I gotta admit, I've always wanted to try it, although they are closing down soon. And I'm also very much not rich. I wanted to try it, although they are closing down.
Dear guests, cousin friends, winter 2024 will be the last season of Norma as we know it. As we know it. See, you've got to look at the English carefully. As we know it. That means they're closing down this iteration of Noma, but they're evolving, it sounds, or maybe moving.
Down soon, and I'm also very much not rich enough. Either way, it was quite fascinating to see. Kinda close to very much.
Compete with wine pairing. The most expensive lunch costs $700 per person. And they start from $420 per person. Is that like £300? That's about £250, £300. Okay, it's not cheap.
Very much not rich enough. Either way, it was quite fascinating to see. Kinda close to Noma, there's this random building that you can climb, almost like a hike. So we went up there just to see the sun go down, to see the cityscape, you know. Although the scenery was a little bit ruined by these massive vapes. Bro, that's at least like 150, Nick.
It looks like a really good city to live in. I'm not sure about and to visit as well, of course. But to actually live there, I reckon you'd have such a great quality of life. It just seems like the perfect city from what I'm seeing. You know, some cities like tourist cities, you just want to go for a day or two to just visit, and some cities are like, I would live there. And Copenhagen looks like a livable place.
For dinner, we went to this place called the Lupa. They pride themselves on having a sustainable...
They must have money because they look like they're going to all the fancy places, Michelin star, like...
plant-based and low-waste approach to cooking, so we were really interested to try. Even their drinks are completely plant-based and oftentimes made from scraps or leftovers from the kitchen, which I thought was really cool. The staff was wonderful and super friendly, but the only thing that took this down for me a little bit was the food, which was interesting, but oftentimes I felt like it was a bit poorly balanced, maybe too salty, but you could definitely tell that it was made with passion and experience. And of course, I love that dessert. And even though I didn't love the food, I still want to give them 4 stars because I liked being there and I appreciate their philosophy.
I mean, how can the food be good if they're using leftovers? Okay, love the planet, but excuse me, if I'm gonna go to a restaurant, have Michelin level food, I don't want leftovers. I want good quality. And also I find with vegan food, sorry for my vegan people, I really, respect you, but I've had a lot of vegan food. It tends to be very salty because it's like compensating for the lack of that umami flavor you get from meat. So they tend to add more other things to kind of balance that out. And sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they get it really, really wrong, and it's not nice. So it's one of those things.
Now, day 4 was a complete disaster. I don't know what happened, but I woke up extremely nauseous and sick. And when I feel nauseous,
I'll tell you why, because you ate that Michelin food from that vegan place. It made him sick.
my life is over. Like, I can't do anything. So I decided to send Christina out to complete
the food was probably old.
mission. She was fine. She didn't have anything, even though we ate the same thing somehow. And where did she go first? Of course, a bakery. I have to say, we completely fell in love with Danish pastries, and so we wanted to try them all. I was so jealous of her that I made her bring the pastries with us on the plane, so maybe I can taste them later when I get home. She also had a hot dog, because apparently that's a big thing in Denmark. And wow, that looks very good. I am again jealous. And I just realized it looks exactly the same as the one Marcus ate, so double jealous. What are you rating this, Christina?
I rate this 4 stars.
What is this? Who's this Marcus person? I need to watch this TV show he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. This music is very loud.
So I know this wasn't the full 100 hours. Please don't hate me, but please do comment below where I should go next. I want to make this a more regular thing. Also, if you like it, please drop a like. I think that helps me. Anyways, I'll see you next time.
It was well done. That pastry looks great. Yeah, Denmark. Food wise, I don't think I saw a lot of like traditional food though. Or am I tripping? We saw pizza, and we saw that vegan stuff. Then we saw that Mexican stuff, and we saw some pastries. Some of the pastries clearly were Danish, but I feel like it was missing. It was good food, but I feel like it was missing some Danish food. So I think I need to watch another video that actually explains, okay, this is a traditional dish in Denmark, this is a traditional dish. So it was a great video and I enjoyed it, and I am definitely stealing some of these places when I go to Copenhagen. However, I feel like I didn't see any traditional dishes or get any names of any traditional dishes. So that's what I need to do and find out on another video. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.